Hi all, so we're going to continue working through our altered book here. We're coming up on the end, so I'm going to pay a special dedication to getting all of our pages completely collaged. And then the last thing we'll do is go back through the journal. Well, two last things. We're going to go back through and kind of add some of the elements to the pages to really flesh them out as mail art. And we're going to do the covers. So our cover project is coming up. And I pretty much know what I'm going to put on here because I've been echo staining fabric. So I pretty much think that's what I'm going to put on here, though I do kind of vacillate back and forth between which fabrics I'm going to use. But anyway, let's continue to move forward. So remember we worked on these papers from my Printables pack, the July Printables pack, and they already have a lot of paint and overpainting on them. So what I want to do is I want to use the Hickory Smoke, which is a gray. It's a darker gray than the pumice. And I just want to get some language. So I think adding language to the pages really helps to give it that ephemera, you know, nail art sort of feel. So let's see, I don't want anything too dark. So hopefully this will give us a good imprint. Okay, yeah. See how, see, just a little bit extra. We don't want it to go just being too strong. So I'll do the same thing on this side because I'm not quite sure which side of this I'm going to use. But let's just get this down there. Okay, looking good, looking good. See, real subtle. I can get my camera to focus. Come on. See, that just a, there, see, just a beautiful subtle pattern. Doesn't have to be over the top. So put that down. And I'm going to work with this printable too. So this printable is from my Documents and Doorways. And I thought that they worked nicely together. The color palette and using this as a background, this one. So just kind of thinking around here. I know I want to do some more stamping. Let me just see what I have up here. Let's use this one. I do have this grid one also. Maybe I will do, I'm thinking I don't even know what side I'm going to use. So maybe I should figure that out first. Yeah, I'll figure that out first. Excuse me if I'm a little hoarse. It's just, you know, allergies kind of really make my throat a little, not even scratchy, but you know what I mean. It's just like a little tight, I guess, from, I don't actually even really cough or sneeze a lot either. I don't know. It's just weird. Who knows? Okay, so let's get this going. Hope things have been going well for you guys. I have a little coffee here. That'll help. That's good. Hope everybody's staying safe and just still trying to enjoy the summer. Having times with friends and family. Okay, so you know how I like to make things look different, but what I think I'm going to do, I think pretty much if I do this down the middle, it covers everything on the page. Yeah, it does. And then using this document here in different ways, we're going to make these pages look different, but at the same time work together because it is a page spread. Okay. Alrighty. So this one I'm going to put like this. I may flip this one. Yeah, and flipping it, it really also gives it a different orientation. So the colors work together, but they don't look exactly. Okay, we're going to flip it. So let's get our fabric tack. I noticed that my fabric tack was getting pretty stiff. And one of my patrons in one of our sessions, when I first got this, said, hey, just go ahead and throw a little bit of, acetone in it, and it'll thin it out. And I did, and it's like just really good again. I only put a few drops. I have maybe a half a bottle of glue left at the time, and I might have put like maybe just 10 drops of acetone in it, if that, maybe 8 to 10 drops. And that was enough just to loosen it up. So just a little tip if you guys have fabric tack and it's getting a little thick. I always like to stand up so I can see what I'm doing here. Nothing worse than getting it crooked. Okay. Okay, that's good. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, and let's do the same thing here. Yeah, I'm glad you guys really like the idea of painting the printables, like really going in and jelly printing on them. Yeah, that's something I've been doing for a while with my jelly prints. And I showed in, on my Art Mythos, which is a year-long monthly program that I do on being consistent with your art and with journaling and really, getting your own personal art style and language together. It's over there on Teachable, but I do a lot of jelly printing over there as well on those throughout that year-long program. And so I show a lot of different techniques, as I do on Patreon. But the point of me saying that is that a lot of times when I was dealing with the idea of, what do you do with all the jelly prints that you make? I mean, I'm saying that to myself, like I get asked that question a lot. But just even in my own studio, I have some, you know how you make something you just really love, and they're really not enough to be considered like finished art, that you can actually just put in a frame. But they're really good. And you don't want to just use them up in a project and then maybe, how jelly prints are. You do one you really love and then you're not able to recreate it. So I just started keeping portfolios, which I can show you guys sometime. But I have portfolios of all my jelly prints that I really feel are good. And so then I started thinking, I said, well, you know what? I could reproduce them and then, print over them use them as like an activated page concept. And so I've been doing that for quite a while. It really works. So there. Okay. We like that. So now this is the printable that I want to work with. So I feel like I want to grab this door. So first let's grab it. These are, in this particular one, this Documents and Doorways, these are doors that, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. This kind of overlaps there. I'll just pull some of this off. That I took when I was in central Italy a couple of falls ago. I love, you know, doorways, as many of us do. I end up with a lot of photos of them. So just kind of figuring out where I'm going to put this. Because these I'm going for like a postcard look. So let me just get all the elements off of this page that I want, and then we'll take it from there. So let's go ahead and grab this, and we're going to take this right here. I like this. You can use this as a seal or something. Okay. Might grab it like this. Let me take this here. So you can also do the printables like this. You can look at them, you know, in sections and sort of figure out what pieces or elements that you can use. And then I have this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not even looking up. I'm all off camera. So I have this background piece here I want to use. And then we have, so I'm just going to pull all the sections. And then we have this right here. All these postmarks. So figure out exactly how we're going to use this. It's always a mystery to me too, because I never quite know what I'm going to do. So let's see. So I kind of want to do this. Oh, my puppy is whining. Let me let him out. He comes into my studio when I come in early in the morning, but then when he hears other people starting to move around, then he's ready to, you know, he's ready to dump me. That could be kind of cool there, yeah. I might, excuse me, rip that down a little bit more. Let me get some of this. And the whole point of this altered book has been to kind of, you know, tell a story through mail art and the dialogue that sending letters and postage, you know, creates. Something that's rare for us any longer, you know, as we don't really do a lot of that, right? Kind of figuring out where I want my placement things, because I am going to stamp over things, but I want this sort of document look. That's what I'm going for. Well, that's what I'm trying to go for here. So let me make this a little bit more narrow. Okay, so I like that on there with this doorway. Yeah, see how it really starts when you start working on kind of covering up the print. And what's neat about it is when, you know, like, because we're using this as a printable, we can cover up the print and not worry about it, because we can print out more. I like it there at the top. So I'm going to overlap some of this. I'm going to overlap some of this. So what I'm going to do is, I want to keep this square like a stamp, but I want this tighter, because I'm going to do postmarks on this one. Okay, there. Okay, that's better. Much better. So let me get my, I really want to make this black. So I'm going to use, and so I can let it dry. I'm going to use this really black. Stamp pad. Okay, so this can be drying, because this pad is a little juicy, so see, so that gives us, oops, that really turns that into a stamp of sorts. And let's go ahead and stamp this up too, but I'm going to use a different one. So let's use like that one. Just going to go ahead and then what I think I'm going to do is we're going to do that this way. So this has more of like a passport, you know, kind of stamp or something on it. Okay, perfect. So that'll kind of go there. Alrighty. That's good. And maybe those want to go on there. See? Alrighty. And I want to also, I was thinking about using my postcard stamp, but I don't want to stamp that up. I just kind of want, it's kind of just wanting this. And I might put that down in this area here. Yeah, I think I will. So it's just kind of stamp. Stamp that. And then I could actually put, you know, a real stamp down here. So let's go ahead and put this down. Okay, perfect. Good. So that's down there. Sort of have that sort of abstract kind of background. Let's see, where are we? So this is kind of here and here, and then I can put even this little stamp that kind of popped out of nowhere. Or I can use one of my, gotta move a few things here. Have some of these stamps, which always come in handy. I need something with actually, every time I dig in this box, I say I need to make some more. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. This one's kind of nice. That one might be nice because the oranges kind of go together. We'll see. We shall see here. I'm going to do. Also have this. Okay. Let's put that there. So I'm going to go ahead and what do I want to do? Now I'm looking around to see what other things I have. This is some washi tape that I made. It's kind of got some stamping on it. That's kind of cool. Okay, let me just put this down. I know it's looking a little busy, but we are doing mail art, and that's where it's tricky. Because we're not just doing, like, this book isn't just about, you know, just regular compositions of just sort of doing what we feel looks good in the moment. It's like constantly challenging ourselves to keep with the theme of this book while using diverse materials. And that's what really, that's the thing that can really push you. But it's good because that's why we create. We create to challenge ourselves, right? So what we would normally do is not what we do when we're working like this. And I really do like to challenge myself because it does push you, pushes your art and your style. Just always come and you do the same thing all the time. Well, maybe I can put this down here. Oh, I like that. Why didn't I think? Okay. I like that. I like it over here. I feel like this is a more of a blank spot. We got the little postcard, you know, just the nod to the postcard. Move this out the way. I mean, I know that stamps, oh, it's okay because I know we normally think of stamps up there because this is a postcard. We can do this. Just look on that side or that side. Why do I like it on this side? I'm going with it. I like it on that side. So that's where we're going to put it. This glue is working so much better just with a few drops of acetone. Oh my goodness. Let's put that there. Okay. Alrighty. And I could use something from another print, you know, another printable, but I kind of like to, I'm just challenging myself also to use, because remember we're going for the like 90%. So we can always come back and add. I really like building up on this side. So I'm going to put this there too. I like this extra element. And then, you know, we stop, right? Because then I can pull from some completely different elements. But I really like, you know, what's happening here. So... So let's really get some of that glue to smush down to that corner. Okay. Perfect. So I like that. So far, so good. I like that, right? You get the mail art feel. It's postcardy, but it's still not cluttered. And I really like how that circle is still showing through. You know, we've covered bits of it, but still, it's still there. And then we still have the lines here for the whole, let me just see something. Give it a try. Yeah, I'm going to put that down there because it balances off here. It's on a line where you would write something. Let me just narrow it down just a little bit more. A bit of it. And, you know, just adds a little bit of something there without being too much. Put that there. Take this little bit off. Okay. So, yeah, we're just adding to this in a way that just makes sense. This is what I call my intuitive collaging. You know, it makes sense. We're working within the style of, you know, how we like to do our art and create. We're still challenging ourselves to a certain type of genre, you know, which is the mail art. And it's really easy to work and not be disciplined, especially when you're working on a long-term project like this. It's very easy just to say, okay, I don't want to do it like that anymore. Which line I want to use? I think I'll use this bottom line. On that, when you're working on the project, you want to try to stay clear of that. Okay, I like that. Okay, good. Okay, so now let's go to the other side here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this little bit and get the doorway a little tighter. Just really just grab, you know, the doorway. Okay. And I think I'm going to let that little jagged edge go beneath the page line. I like that. And I like these opposite elements. It seems like it's bringing the weight of the page. Your eye is coming like this on the page versus maybe if it were somewhere else. Well, I don't want to cover that up. So I think this is like the emptiest section, you know, that could use a bold focal point. So that's where we're going to put this one, and that's why. Oh boy. I'm glad so many of you tell me you like to hear my thought processes, because I do have a tendency to talk out loud and share them with you. It's the teacher in me, I tell you. It's all the years of teaching art students, right? And you kind of get in the habit of talking and sharing what you're doing while you're doing it as you go. So I'm glad you guys enjoy it. Okay. Okay. Oh, I love that. I really love this element here. Oh, yes. It works well opposite that. Oh, my goodness. Look at me. Look at me. Can I get it up? Oh, please, please, please. Oh, yay. Okay. Because I'm supposed to be putting this down. You know, it seems like I'm covering half of it. See where I want to put this. I know I want it to overlap. Maybe something like that. So, maybe like that. Okay. Alrighty. Boy, I'm glad I caught that. Sure, some of you out there were probably saying, Robin, hold up. What about that other piece? You're forgetting. That's why normally before I start gluing, I have everything laid back down and then I take it apart so that I glue it down in sections and I don't forget what my original pattern was, because you can easily do that. Let's get this right. I want to sort of cover it like that. Let's make sure. Yep. Okay, perfect. I just like the way this, you know, wrinkled, tea-stained, sort of three-dimensional paper looks. It just really brings a nice element of interest, unexpected to the whole collage and this whole printed, you know, paper. Some of these chunks, these dried chunks off of there. Okay. Let's go ahead and rip this off here. All right. Okay, that looks good. I like that. See, that just gives it a nice subtle patterning. And it kind of gives that doorway kind of like a horizon level, or just a way to kind of break it up from this. Just, you know, real subtle. Like, okay, so now this I want to put up here. I like the way that blends in to this print. Let's see. Where's my other things? Let me see. I think I'm going to grab that. I like that. Let me go ahead and put this down because I know I want that there. Let's go ahead and put this down. Okay. Okay. I like that because it really gives a nice complexity to the design without being too much, because it blends in nicely with the print. I'll show you guys. See? So, you know, you get that really nice blending in with the print because there's so many changes of layers in the print anyway with the original papers, and then the jelly printing on top gives it a lot of different layers. And then when we have this stamp that's also we've stamped over, you know, it just all blends in nicely. Okay. So now I figure out, because we're going for the postcard. Like this is like the postcard kind of vibe. I don't know why I keep on picking this up. Like I really want to make this work, but I don't think it does. I kind of want to make this like a stamp if I could. Let me just go ahead and cut it. Doesn't hurt to cut it and see how I may use it. Seems like a good size right there. And if I actually take a stamp and stamp it, that may work. And let me grab this. That's what I'll do. Let me see if I can get that. So I think I can work this as an element over top of the stamp I'm going to make. See? So kind of have this, which you can put down. Okay. Okay, so we have that piece. Now let's stamp this. Let me find the right one that we want to use. I want a big one. This one is good. Okay, so what I normally do with this type of thing, let me make sure I get the top from the bottom. Here we are. Okay, so here again, I want to use black because we have this black, this strong black component. So we'll just really get this stamped up well. And then what I like to do is take this and just I think I really made that juicy. Let's just go ahead and put it down right over top. Get a good impression. Try to lift it up carefully. Yep, there we go. See? So you get a nice little complex stamp there with all the background pattern that was on there. And I think that'll go nicely there. Yeah, I like that because this will go, kind of put this over top of it. Now this, I gotta let this dry a bit because that ink pad that I'm using is very wet. It's got a good, you know, staining capability, but I tell you, while we're waiting for that to dry, I'm going to get some black soot, which is a bit softer. Oh no, I know what I want to use. I'll use my other circles. since I've already used those. For the other ones. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we are. Let's use this right here and put this down. Okay, perfect. Just going to kind of put this down in this area where I plan on putting this stamp. So we'll do that. Okay, see, that's good. So we'll have those marks, and then this is going to kind of go, you know, right there. Actually covering it up, just a bit of it. And then this is going to go over. Let's see, are you dry yet? Just blot it. It's not going to hurt to blot it. Okay. This is double-sided tape, so I can go ahead and peel this off the back. You just use, my fingers are a bit glued up, so let's just go ahead and use a X-Acto knife just to separate it. This is just double-sided tape, and I make my washi tape. Okay, let me stand up again so I can just see where I'm putting this. Because after all this, I don't want to get it wrong. I like that. It's like a stamp, but it's not taking over the page. You know what I mean? There again, that's blending in nicely. And then I want to put this. My idea was just kind of put this sort of over it, or where do I want this? Maybe something like that. Forgot where I want to put this. I can put it down there. Sort of kind of overlap those seals. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to take one of these stamps here, and I'm going to use a red, and I'm just going to cancel that with something red so it looks, you know, like that's something official. Oh my goodness. Actually, where are my, okay. Actually, I'm going to use this one because it's longer. So I think it'll do a little better, yeah. Okay. I'll take this, just kind of put it there. Okay, perfect. So we just canceled this out a bit, you see? Just gives it a little bit of a cancellation. So when we put it down here, all this works together. That works together. So it looks like a cluster that got, you know, canceled or something like that. Kind of really got to think this mail art thing through, I tell you. Okay, so I like that. So I like this page. It's mail art, you know, looks like postcard or something that came from a place that we visited that had, you know, some doorways that we wanted to capture, old documents. This tells a story. The whole point when you're doing this is to think in terms, and especially when you're working in a book format, just think in terms of a story. Even when you're creating and doing it, just let a story start developing. That's what I do, and I tell you, it really helps me to flush out what I want everything to look like when I do that. because you really start letting, you know, like the page becomes your muse, and you really do start working through your ideas. And I like that. Now this is looking quite a bit different from where we started with these background pages. That's why I really wanted to do a series. I have another series of background pages. I think you can do a lot with them. And then using some of the other pages, printables, and then your own photographs and travel pictures and stuff like that that you can print out. My goodness, you know, you can just really do a lot with your Gelli print backgrounds. While and all this is what we printed on top of it. Remember, all that's been added. This stencil, the brush strokes, the overprinting. Let me see if I can get it, of the text. All that's been added on top of our original printable. And I like the combination of sort of the photograph, the flat page with nothing on it, you know, so it's more of a photo with the background, which is more painterly. Let's look at this one. I really like how this little stamped area came out. Let's let the thing focus. Come on, let's focus. Oh, see, I really like the way that came out. And then with the Gelli print behind it like that, we're picking up the gold, and I like that a lot. Okay, and this page, we have the overprinting, and in this area, you would see the subtle stamping, so that's good. So there we have it. I like this. This worked out well. Challenged myself to use one printable as a background, and then the doorways and documents. And I'm going to do that. I have 3 of these that I'm going to do on the next 3 pages, which are going to be this doorways and document kind of thing, because I think it's a good way to flesh out our book. This is the one we did here, so I've got to come back and add to this. I haven't decided exactly which one I'm going to use for that one. And then this has that sort of, this is more, it's abstract. This is how, you know, I think we really like to work to. But, yet it's still got documents and stuff on it, so it's pretty cool. And of course, this right here really is like a nice segue between these, because you get the idea of the actual documents that may have traveled through the mail, right? So, yeah, alrighty. So there we are, and we'll go on to the next page. All right, take care. Thanks for hanging out, and if you enjoyed the video, thumbs it up, and, you know, join if it's your first time coming over here with us. Lots of projects to go. All right, guys, take care. Love you. Bye-bye.